to beautiful today, and thank you for having me as a guest. I'm Roland Attenborough. Today we're going to be looking at the daily chart, and we're going to move right on in to the hourly chart. As you know, Bitcoin has been showing some incredible strength. We ran some 45-degree angles on, and they crossed, and we've got some really good support here. Looking at that, I drew a couple more angles as we were talking about and made them the 2x1 or 67-degree angles, and they're capturing our next moves right here. And we wanted to just go take a look at, are we about to be rejected, or are we about to move through and tag onto these 45-degree angles that we have been coming up against? Because we are looking like we're about to get ready to possibly jump over these angles. Now we've got a little pullback in our RSI. However, we haven't seen a hook yet, but it's possible. It does look like we're getting a little high, but you know, Bitcoin is showing some incredible strength, and staying above this 2x1 angle at 67.5 degrees, that's showing incredible strength. Breaking above this, I was expecting very much so that by June 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, we would be having our next swing top. It seems like when the moon typically comes into Aries and hits Taurus, we make tops. So this occurs from the 2nd to about, well, let's just say the 5th, you know. So looking at that, it's showing incredible strength here, you know, and it's starting to square out again our really strong 45-degree angles. If we get a rejection here, then it will most likely, we will be coming back to this angle here, and a rejection further from there would be down to around here somewhere, and may occur sometime around here or just after this date, around the 23rd of May. From there, you know, we could, so saying that, we could experience a move up now. Let's just say now we jumped above. So that's the second scenario. We don't make a lower bottom and nestle down here before we move right on up, because we know every time we make bottoms, they double pretty much or go 90% of the way up in price. So looking at that, this price here is 56,000. You know, 100,000 Bitcoin, or 112, 105, you know, is that possible? I mean, we did it in 50 days. So let's just go take a look at what 50 days would look like before we flip to the hourly chart. Well, 52 days, and if we went up like we just went, 90%, geez, that thing's in the way, too bad. Let's just move that. You know, a 90% move is what we experienced from 38,000. What would that look like? Well, just coming up to 90,000, you know, would be 105, 106,000. Is that what's going to happen? Well, not necessarily. However, you know, looking at this tool here, this is a really important tool, this counting tool. So we can use it for a few things. So this middle blue bar resting on the bottom here shows us the next areas where we would have the next lift up and a next step. All right, the middle bar here, and now the top bar. So we move them up. Where's the next step, right? The next step is 72 or 73,000, our old top, right? If we make top up there, what about the next steps, right? We keep moving up, right? 78, then we start moving up, right? And then by the time we start using the top for the middle bar on this at 52 days, like our last maneuver, this is saying that we could possibly make it to around 90,000. That's not necessarily what I'm saying is going to happen, all right? However, we are inside this area here, and I would think that a good mid-80s, we could certainly see the inside of this very easily. We are getting very active right now inside of this double square. It's like a rectangle. We're moving up at our 45-degree angle. Let's just maybe bring this counter and let's square it out with our 45-degree angle here. Right? So right now on this more or less top here, it's indicating that we could get into there. Let's bring out the middle of it to here and see what can happen. Well, it certainly looks like we're moving inside of this. If we use this square as our 45, if we were to stay within this channel, we have a good chance of making it up to, in July, to around 86,000. And in July, of course, I was talking to you earlier about our July and our Jupiter cycle, and we're going to have a blow off top here around the 15th, and this would certainly be perfectly in line with that. You go ahead and have a look at my Jupiter cycle. 11 degrees, we have our first pretty good pull, like a big move up, and then when we get down to like the 13 degrees, we have these really big bottoms, right? We have this fast move down, and then that's it, it's over. And then August is going to be bananas. So I think these next 3 months, I think Bitcoin is going to be making some moves up. It's not showing any sign of weakness. You know, we've been, the longer it hangs around this 70, and I mean in this channel here, this is a really successful asset. It's endured a lot of negative hostility, and it's still the most successful at $70,000 right now, or whatever it's trading at. Yeah, 70,000. You know, it's a pretty successful asset, and it looks like it's about to get above and sit down and then move up. And I think that by that early June, 2nd, 3rd, we could easily be at our next area on the square at 77,000. That's the next move up from 73,000 from our topping area on the square. Let's just take a look at that really quick. So I'm saying that, right, well, we moved up from 60 to 70 right now, and our top is 73. Square again, 135 degrees from our current low, and it looks like a move up next would be 77 on our square. And I think that by June 2nd and 3rd, somewhere in there, we're going to be really close to this 77 area right here, and then possibly we'll be moving up to this 81 and 86 level as we've been talking about here. So this could occur right here in the next several weeks here. So just pay attention to that. So watch for it to break this 1 times 2 angle and this angle right here. Now that we did a little bit of a long view, we're going to now go take this in, and we're going to take a look at the hourly chart, and then but first we should kind of zoom in before it, oh, it's going to be a little ugly. Okay, let's go to the hourly chart. Okay, so these are our 45-degree angles moving down from our tops and 45-degree angles moving up from our bottoms. They may not look like that on the hourly chart. These are our 2 times 1 angles, and they go up at 67 and a half degrees, but here it's showing 57. All right, so let's just get them looking. There we go. Okay, so these angles now will be 45. Let's now move in and see. So this hourly chart here, you can see we've right. Let's go tighten up these angles, right? I like doing this when we can move down into these expanded charts into the hourly. We can put them right on the bottoms here, right? Let's just go line up our 45-degree angle, right? I really think right now, excuse me, spring, I got allergies coming on. Anyways, this is a really good representation of the 45-degree angle and how well this thing works. You know, here we are. I know it says 41 here, but I scrunched it a little bit. It would be 45. There you go. So this hourly chart, we're going to bring in a couple of lines down, and we're going to just see if it's going to get weak and dump below this, because this is actually turned green, you know, which is really showing a lot of strength right here, especially on this. So we could, for several more hours, bang around here. But this angle right here is exactly the same as the angle from right here to right here. And I'm going to show you right now. And then we're going to take a look at some things moving forward here. I just thought I'd show you this, so because you know, these are important. This is a 63. I'm going to line it right up on here now. And so we've been moving down at the same velocity as this maneuver here. And it's important for us, once we break over this, I mean, this one, you know, we've moved sideways and made a move down again. So it does indicate that if we don't get up and moving and respect these angles, you know, particularly this one now, this is our 2 times 1 angle from our daily chart. If we lose this, it's back to our daily chart, and this is our 45-degree angle from our bottoms. They cut through right here, and we could tighten them up because they might be loose. No, they're not too bad actually. It's come off really nice. It's squared up very nicely here. So looking at this now, you can see now, right, we had this exhaustion move up, shown some incredible strength. Let's just draw now a 45-degree angle moving down, right? Because we know that this one here is the angle and velocity from our top. So let's draw 45. Let's just do that. So we know that a 45 on the daily is this long here. Let's go get an angle. Well, we can see, I'd rather that it cut through this. However, you know, there's a crossing right here, so there's a change in trend here. This top and a move back down. Could be in for some more moves back down here by the looks of things. Let's see what the indicators are saying. Well, they're still trying to search out a bottom. Right? Let's take a look. Right? Still trying to search out a bottom. It looks like it's going to be getting close here, though. Right? Right? The buyers have really took off, and the sellers have really, they've stepped it up here. But it's possible we might have a turnaround. However, we've got another indicator down here that has crossed over into negative territory. Are we going to bounce off this really strong support here on the RSI? Because it looks like we're going to retest this angle, and this would be a terrific time for us to retest this angle and break above this angle that moves down from our top to the bottom here. Right? We were talking about this. Right? This is the velocity. Right? It's the velocity of the market. So, right now, we are staying below this, and we're about to, if things shape up here, break above this in the next several hours, or make contact with this line down. And that's pretty good, because we've got a solid hourly chart building block here. If this were to fail, then, you know, guys, it's right back down to here, and that would occur on the 23rd, tomorrow, or somewhere very close to that. We might have a hammer down, but 66 would be, this would be a good place to sit right on top. There's a lot of resistance right here at this 66. There's a lot of resistance here, so that's a strong, you know, that's strong support we could get off of this. You know, it does look like, though, Bitcoin is in this next hour is really struggling. You know, we know that the BlackRocks and the big whales are going to be buying this up, because the rest of us, I've bought in. I'm not buying anything right now until this sucker breaks above this old top here, and it sits on this. If it can sit on this 73, 74 right here, then, and I'm really thinking that, you know, we're, you know, by this June, I was telling you that we could, you know, we could be up to this 77 here. And if we were to hold this 73 here, somewhere around late June, I mean, that would be a terrific sign of strength. So, looking at this now, you can see that we're getting into a place where we're going to be retesting this angle. And it's got this long wick and this move up here. So we could be doing one of these moves right here, right? We could certainly be doing one of these. Just coming back and testing this. We might even do this a few times, right? Before it breaks above an old top. And this will be its next old top. Especially if we hold this angle. Otherwise, like I said, it's going to be moving back down to this angle somewhere around here, or this old top. This is there's a lot of support and resistance around here. This is quite a few hours here. So if we manage to stay above all this, that's really strong. Anyways, guys, peace and love. I just wanted to show you a few more things you can do. Go on the hourly chart, do some stuff. Peace and love.